Yeah.
Basically, for the most part, just kept my distance from Joy Taylor. And I kept my distance not because I didn't like her, it's just because I knew myself. I know myself.
Oh, he would have drank the Kool-Aid. He would have drank the Kool-Aid. Oh, if she would have gave him a shot, he would have drank that Kool-Aid. Aha. Hey, at least he's keeping it 100. At least he's keeping it 1,000.
Capable of. And that big rack of hers that she showed off constantly, it's just, and that peanut butter skin with that big rack.
Oh, hey. So are we cooking him because he's telling the truth? Or are we cooking him because he's a freaky old man?
Like, Jay, keep your distance. That's going to get you into trouble. And so that's what I did. Wow. I kept my distance. Because when you put some woman in a job, talking sports with a bunch of men, it's a job she's not qualified for. She's talking sports with professional athletes, people that did it at the highest level. She's talking sports with me or Colin Cowherd or other people that have like really studied sports at a super high level. What does she have to offer other than her sex appeal? And so should we be surprised that she leaned into that? No, we should. They put her in that position.
So I don't know anything about Joy Taylor's credentials as far as sports analyzing goes. I think she has a doctorate in something, but I mean, he's not totally wrong, because I would like to imagine that a woman that was also just as well versed as him and all of the other aforementioned people that he said, I would imagine that she would also have like a space to be able to talk sports and be heard as an individual and as an intellectual in that category, or like in that space. But the problem with what he's saying is that it's kind of true. Like, as far as I can tell, and especially like with, the recent news that comes out, Joy does look a little wild in this space now. She definitely does look just a little odd, but it's different now. It's different now. The conversation changes.
Offer, and so she offered it up and got what she wanted. Let's think this through. As if you go into the lawsuit and the things that Nusheen says and the way she says things played out, Joy Taylor was some sort of fill-in talk show host down in Miami who, people in Miami kind of knew who she was. I think she may have had some association with Dan Le Batard or whatever, but she hadn't taken Miami by storm as a radio talk show host. She was a little extra, attractive girl, Jason Taylor's sister. Hey, let's put her on radio. But she hadn't really done anything. But somehow, she's qualified to be the host of Undisputed, a debate show between Skip Bayless, who, like him or not, was an accomplished sports journalist for a time, and a Hall of Fame football player in Shannon Sharpe. Shannon Sharpe reached the top of the sports industry. Skip Bayless reached the top of the sports media industry. And Joy Taylor had done some radio work down in Miami. What does she have to offer? So how does she get that job? How does she even get that opportunity?
To be fair, I don't think there's any reason or like wrongdoing in making someone that has little to no experience on big TV to give them that job, because she was basically just the person that read off the subjects. She read the topics. She never gave her input in that show, or little if that. And that's basically all she did. She would just keep the show on track. If Shannon and Skip were ever like going too long on a subject, she would cut them off and then bring in the new subject, roll in the commercial. That's all they asked her to do. So I don't think that's not fair. I don't agree with what he's saying here.
Because she's got a big pair of cans.
Okay.
And she's, according to Sheen, she's willing to let people enjoy those big cans of her. That's how we got here. and it's not
He's not
Joy
wrong.
Taylor's fault. And I want to try not to disparage Joy Taylor, but the facts are the facts. I can remember I'm at Fox Sports at the time, and I ran into some friction because I didn't want a woman on a show that I was doing at Fox Sports. And so this is in 2015, 16, at the very beginning. And I can remember they brought Joy Taylor in for a test on the show that I was doing. Yeah, this is at the time when I was going to be initially doing my own show, and Cowherd was doing something else. And just keeping it all the way real, Charlie Dixon wanted her to be involved with my show. And so we brought her in for a test. And I didn't think the test went well. And I let everybody know, hey, I don't think this test went well. I don't want, this isn't the direction I wanted to go. I was trying to play nice and trying to meet them halfway in terms of okay, you guys are insisting on a woman being on this show because that's what everybody wants. And I was like, well, you need to bring a grown-ass woman on the show if it's going to be with me. It can't be at this time. This is 10 years ago. Joy Taylor's probably 25, 26 years old. You're talking about, I mean, I got a lot of discipline, but 25-year-old with them big cans and that peanut butter skin who has nothing to say.
Hey, is Unc cooking? Hey, let me know. Let me know. Is he cooking, chat, or nah?
At some point, I'm going to lose respect, and I'm gonna be like, well, the only thing she's got to offer is them big cans and that peanut butter skin. And so if I got to put up with this, I might as well enjoy them big cans.
Oh, my God.
And so I said no.
Oh, my God.
I don't want to put myself in that position. And so I can remember, I brought in Bonnie Bernstein. Bonnie Bernstein's around my age, a few years younger, perhaps. But I was like, she's been around the block. She actually has been involved in sports media for a long time.
Here we go.
She might have something of substance to offer. And the test we did with Bonnie Bernstein went much better. And I was like, if we're gonna go, they were adamant, no Bonnie Bernstein. When I look back in retrospect, when I say they, I'm talking about Jamie Horowitz.
Ooh,
and
name dropping, name dropping, name dropping.
I heard from Charlie Dixon on this, but I'd certainly heard from Jamie Horowitz. They were adamant, no Bonnie Bernstein. And when I look back in retrospect, I'm not trying to disparage anybody. I'm just keeping it real. This show is called Fearless. I got to tell you the truth so you can understand these things. When I look back in retrospect, they were like, Bonnie Bernstein, she was 20 years ago. You know, we've had our way with Bonnie Bernstein.
Oh.
We want something fresh and new. And so Bonnie Bernstein, a woman that's pushing 45, 50 at that time, no value, no interest. No one's sexually attracted enough to Bonnie Bernstein at that time to give her the job. And so we didn't do that. I kept holding firm. Next thing you know, me and Cowherd are doing the show together, and Jason McIntyre is going to be our sidekick. And that was a better landing for me than doing the show with a woman. I need, put me in a guy environment, guys talking, that's natural. That's what I thought had the most value. Down the road at Fox Sports, Christine Leahy.
He's not making any. So one thing about what the peanut butter skin and talking about her chest and all that is a little wild, but I mean, he's not making any bad points. I thought this was going to be really misogynistic. I mean, I think, like, again, he can cool in on describing her body, but that is why we're talking about her. So I don't even know if I can say anything about that. But so far, so good.
When Cowherd
Still
left
insane.
the show,
Still insane.
Christine Leahy wanted to replace Colin Cowherd. I wasn't for that. I considered it because I like Christine Leahy, and what I wanted in that next position, replacing Cowherd, was someone that was in a much more junior position to me than Colin Cowherd. And so, but Christine Leahy had no interest in that and told me flat out she wanted to do a 50-50 show. And I told Christine Leahy, who I liked, but I told her flat out, I was like, Christine, I can't do a 50-50 show with you. You don't know 50% of what I know. You don't know 20% of what I know. You're a child, an attractive one, but you're just a child. And so I can't do a show that's 50-50 with you. There's some things I could teach you in the junior position, but I would consider it, but 50-50, that's insanity. And that's how I ended up moving to Marcellus Wiley. I could do, in my view, this is just me keeping it real, I could do a 55-45 show with Marcellus Wiley. Guy, played sports at the highest level, very good personality, experience. And so that's how we ended up with me and Marcellus.
Is that him?
Speak for yourself. I'm going to continue because I want to be crystal clear here. I like Charlie Dixon, the executive that allegedly was sleeping with Joy Taylor, and that's how she got her position, according to Sheen in this lawsuit. Just in the interest of transparency and just me keeping it real, when I was at Fox Sports, I don't know if this is factual, but I know what everybody thought. Everybody, these stories that Sheen's talking about in this lawsuit, they were widespread and prevalent in 2016.
Wow.
Everybody across Fox Sports thought and gossiped about Joy Taylor and Charlie Dixon. Again, I heard the same talk as everyone else.
Okay.
My name was Bennett. I wasn't in it. But I do know that the women, and I'm going to leave a name out of this. I'm going to leave names out of this. But what's alleged in this lawsuit about Joy Taylor and her sleeping with Charlie Dixon and her telling Sheen and others that she will control Charlie Dixon and that she will say that he sexually harassed her if he ever gets out of line, that was a common play.
Wow.
That was a common tactic.
Yeah, of course.
By women in sports media.
Of course.
What Joy Taylor was, she's more transparent in talking about it than perhaps she should have been, but that was a very common practice. I had a very attractive, big-breasted woman that wanted to work at Fox Sports and another one, I'm not talking about Christine, but another one that wanted to be on Speak for Yourself, and she would ask me out to dinner about once a month and just let me know that in subtle and not so subtle ways, hey, you put me on Speak for Yourself, and these jugs and me could be your little plaything. And I value
Mr. Discipline over here.
My independence. I value my ability to say what I think. I didn't want to give anybody leverage over me. And this, I've told you guys previous stories about executives asking me, hey, who on the network would you most like to sleep with? And my thoughts always were, particularly at that time out in Los Angeles, when I was out there from 2010 to 2020, I'm just like, I'm on TV, I make enough money, and there's enough women out here just giving it away, attractive women just giving it away. I don't need to be doing anything here on the job that could potentially undermine me. I didn't want to be in anybody's potential lawsuit. I didn't want Sheen or anybody, not that I think Sheen's a bad person, but I didn't want anybody having a lawsuit where they're talking about me.
Yeah.
It's unnecessary. If you enjoyed that video, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe so you never miss a moment of Fearless.
That was good. Wow. I couldn't agree more. I could not agree more. I agree with what he was saying. I do. I'm not going to give a further opinion on it. I already did that all yesterday, but no, yeah.